Alright, welcome back to Master Guitar, where we will learn how to, well, you know the idea. Here's my collection as it is. I have an unboxing. What I was doing is you can block this out. You can put black lines over it, or you can just fuzz it out, which is normally what I've been doing. I was finding as I was doing these videos that it took sometimes as much as 25 hours. Like if I move it here, or if I cut the camera here. And once I start editing this, the camera frame, each time I edit that, to zoom in better, I end up having to redo that fuzzed out element. So what I'm doing now is I'm just taking a Sharpie and marking out my address, and that's kind of important. There are a lot of strange people out there in the world. We call them drummers. Anyway, moving right along. As you probably figured out if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, and some of you have been subscribers right from the beginning, I have at some point or another played every musical instrument in a band. I've been the drummer, I've been the bass player, I've been the guitar player, I've been the keyboard player. For the longest time I was bass player, keyboard player, and literally my band, at one point we fired our guitar player, and Joe, the rhythm guitar player and vocalist, just turns to me and says, "All right, you're lead guitar player, go," which was very stressful for a long time because I would just end up getting really stressed before rehearsals and throwing up great amounts. So, but I'm long since over this. So today it's an Amazon order. It's not Sweetwater, so there's no candy, there's no bumper stickers, which is probably pretty good. So, and what did I get? I got a bag of some kind. Yes! All right, video over. All right, made in China. It does not smell like fish. So, and you know, the American ones, I was looking at the American ones, most of which are made in, well, China. I was going through all those options. They were $100, $200, $500. It was getting crazy. And then I went on Amazon. I said, I'm gonna look on Amazon. And sure enough, Velcro, bubble wrap, and a pedal board. So, I wanted to find a large pedal board. You know, I've got the wah, I've got a few pedals. I am not the pedal owner that I used to be. I used to have a collection of pedals because the multi-units didn't come out until, you know, the Guitar War era of the 80s, and suddenly everyone's, you know, you could get entire pedal boards that were all, you could get like the Roland multi-effects unit. I thought the Roland was one of the better ones I'd seen. Amazingly, very few people bought one. You could get the ADA amplifier things. So anyway, here it is. This is the pedal board. Now I don't know what I'm going to do. Hi. I don't know what I'm going to do with the case, because I think pretty much at my age, my gigging days are pretty much over, which is, you know, I know people are going to say that's very sad, but all right, so what do we get? You get some kind of, they always say this is aircraft aluminum. As far as this being a large, I don't understand why they call this large, because I made one out of scrap wood when I was a teenager. There was actually one that was at the right pitch, the right size, and I was able to get all my pedals on there, and all I did was I took those U-shaped nails and I hooked everything up and used the U-shaped nails to hammer down. Like I'd put the wah pedal here, I'd plug it in, and I'd put a U-shaped nail to hold down the cord. Then I just unplugged everything. And of course it was very difficult because I hadn't thought about, well, I've got to have room here. So basically I was holding down the cords, not the pedals. So you had to pick up the pedal board like this and hope nothing fell. That is why you get this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get all my pedals set up on here and arrange it. I honestly cannot remember which pedal board this is. It was 50 bucks, and that's pretty good. This does seem to be fairly strong metal. So let me explain a little bit about how this is set up. You have here a spot right here. This is where you'd put your power supply, so my power supply can go there. You can also put it right here. You know, because you've got these two little wings right here, but you'd put it underneath there, screw it in place. And how you set up your pedal board is kind of up to you. So I needed enough room so I could plan for the future, because you need room for a certain number of effects. So let me talk about pedal effects and what I like. This is the Vox 847 wah. You'll see it's 847, not 847A. There is no AC power supply on this one. So what you do is I ordered the kit. It comes with a adapter that will hook right into the battery. So I take this off. I have had this since the 90s, and to get it on my pedal board, I basically took the feet off and used silver tape. So I'm gonna have to clean this thing off. I haven't used this since I recorded my last album. It's pretty simple. You can actually adjust these, by the way. You can open this up, and where you set this on this groove, because it's just a simple potentiometer in here that creates the sound, you can change it. The one great thing about the Vox 847s, you don't need to change it. It is that simple. That usually I like to put at the front of my effects chain. Years ago I designed an effects chain. We'll see how this goes, but that kind of was like, this kind of was how I was going to do it. So let's talk about it, and that way maybe this will help you, because I see a lot of people posting on how should I set up my pedals, and the experienced guys who are kind of burned out just say, yeah, just experiment with it. There's no wrong way to do it. Well, yeah, yes and no. So the one thing I would like to do is have this is my Sabine pedal tuner. I don't remember the model number. This has AC power right there. So the DC in goes there. I can hook that to my power supply. The power supply I'm getting comes with a 9 volts. It'll hook onto this. I have to drill a hole on the side. I have to choose whether this side or this side. That will take the 9-volt battery out of the equation. So the way I wanted to do my pedal board many years ago was you'd put a tuner here. Back then tuners were strobo tuners, and they were big units and you couldn't have them on stage. Or it was the little battery powered Boss ones that were kind of like about this big and just had a little needle that bounced back and forth, and they were so sensitive and the needle bounced so much they were almost unusable. It was frustrating. You could spend 10 minutes finally getting in tune, and then the other guitar player get in tune on the same tuner, and you'd play and you'd be out of tune. Growing up in the 70s and 80s was not as romantic as musicians make it sound sometimes. So I wish I could zoom in on this a little bit, so I'll just have to electronically zoom, get my feet out of the way here. All right, so, and I'll try to move the camera in a little better. There we go. So now I'll just digitally cut in a little bit better. So the idea is that I would get a MXR. Those were back in the days where it was either MXR or Electro Harmonics, and I think Boss stuff was just coming out. I think Digitech came out much later. What you do is you'd have a tuner, then you'd have a MXR power amp. What that would do is that would boost your signal, go into the wah. I actually would have had a volume pedal first. So power amp, volume pedal, wah pedal. So that would bring it over to here. And then you'd want a delay pretty much kind of at the end of your chain. As you can see, I don't have a whole lot of pedals right now. I'm going to get some Behringer, because everyone knows I am a Behringer fanatic. I love Behringer. I think they do great stuff. Obviously, because I have two Behringer synthesizers. Behringer. That's the biggest controversy. What is it? Is it Behringer? Oh, I forgot to mention, this also comes with this, so I'm going to set this up in a little bit. It would have been an MXR power amp. I don't even know if they make those anymore to boost the signal. So this would go from here, output A. That goes into here. I've had the same battery in here from when I was playing and touring back in the 2000s up until I recorded my album, and that battery is long since gone. I have not replaced that battery. It's a good tradition. All right, so then this would go into the Octaver, and you've got this spot right here. You could just set these up here. This is frustrating. I love this Sabine tuner and I don't want to have to replace it. So I'm going to have to fiddle with it and figure out what is going on here. Okay, I think I got that right. So you take this, you could actually stick it right in there to get those out of the way. It takes up And then you take this one, and this is the spot where the power supply is. Now what you could do with this spot right here, that's a nice big spot, is you can have a typed up list of settings. I'll tell you right now that playing on a club stage, you're not going to be able to read that. You could put maybe your name on it, that'd be about it. And then last but not least, let's take this one, output, into input A. This is probably still a fresh battery, so my battery is going to turn on even though I've had this thing for a year. Yes, battery still works. And output. So you'd need a 3-foot cord if I was going to hook this into a second row. The second row would be down here. So you'd run this underneath, down through here. Second pedal right there. So this is basically how I set it up. So I'm going to go ahead, end this video for now, do some editing, and then we'll actually show how to take this, Velcro it all down, and we are good to go. All right, so remember, comment, like, subscribe. We'll talk to you later. And remember, if you like this video, smash the thumbs up. If you don't like this video, smash the thumbs up twice. All right, we'll see you next week. Bye.